Good evening and welcome to Business Live. Coming up, panel members of Joy Business Thought Leadership Forum call for removal of nuisance taxes in the 2024 budget to help businesses recover from economic hardship.
But in the end, you look at the budget that will come out and it's so heavy on taxes. A budget that is supposedly being support and to boost productivity, you see numerous taxes in those budgets. And I think that is not helping us.
2024 budget expected not to announce new projects and programs as government seeks to complete existing initiatives. The Akosombo Dam Spillage will not affect food availability. There will be enough food. That's according to the Ministry of Food and Agriculture.
That the total figures of what we produce in this country and what the farm, the hectareage that have been affected, there's no way that one is going to have any adverse effects on our food security.
These and many more coming your way in the next 30 minutes with me, Emma Davis, right after this break. Welcome. Let's settle for the details. Panel members of the Joy Business Thought Leadership Forum have advised government not to introduce new taxes in the 2024 budget. They argued that businesses are already struggling under the current tax regime. Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Mark Boakye, was part of the panel and called for removal of nuisance taxes.
A bit of disappointment over the years where we've had a situation where we've presented what we think that should be the case for Ghana, looking at the business environment and what businesses are talking about. But in the end, you look at the budget that will come out and it's so heavy on taxes. A budget that is supposedly being support and to boost productivity, you see numerous taxes in those budgets. And I think that is not helping us. We have done that, presenting our input. We are hopeful this time around, looking at the various engagement that we have had. And of course, we've also received some assurances from the minister in some of the other engagement that they have heard our cry and they actually know the impact of these taxes on businesses. And for me, I mean, everybody now can see what is happening. Even if you are not within the business circle, when you go and the prices are up, you could see that the one who is producing at a higher cost. And of course, it's translating into prices. And it's also obvious that if you look at GDP for the first quarter and second quarter, you realize the impact of these taxes and other costs on the cost of production of businesses. In fact, but for the services sector, all the major sectors that have the potential to drive the economy, the industrial sector, the manufacturing sector, the construction sector, they all contracted. And it's because inflation is high, it's because interest rates are high, it's because taxes are high. So when you put all together, basically they are not making any profit.
Dean of the School of Business at the University of Cape Coast, Professor John Gachi, has indicated that government must prioritize businesses and ensure that revenue generation drives are not to be the detriment of businesses who are major contributors to the economy. According to him, governments must be proactive in addressing concerns raised by businesses through various stakeholder engagements. He also spoke during the Joy Business Pre-Budget Economic Forum.
Raise revenue, and we also need to manage our expenditure. But we cannot raise revenue in a manner that will become disincentive to consumption, become disincentive to building a proper business environment. At best, we can use fiscal tools to make the environment disincentive. We can also use fiscal tools as a balance between meeting government revenue targets or program and also creating incentive for the business environment. And this will come by through engagement with the business community, which I know some engagement has started, especially because businesses have been complaining about numerous taxes and some of the taxes being disruptive to their business operations. And when that engagement takes place, those engagements should reflect on policies that the government gives to us, especially through the budget reading. So the need for revenue enhancement should not be misconstrued to disrupt the environment for proper business engagement. I believe when people are talking about expenditure cut, they know what they are talking about. They talk about realignment of ministries and then some appointments that also go a long way to go. So it is not one area that you should cut expenditure to create the expectation of the people. So you look at one area, you cut off expenditure, you go to another area, you cut off expenditure, plus making sure you bring efficiency in expenditure. That is what is expected of us, efficiency in expenditure. If you have so much waste in the system, so much leakages in the system, and there is no frantic effort at ensuring that those leakages are blocked and efficiency comes into government expenditure and efficiency is deployed in raking in revenue, then we will just be going through a cycle and we will not find solution to our problem.
The Ghana Union of Traders Association is imploring government to use the 2024 budget to map up pragmatic measures to mobilize revenue rather than introducing or increasing taxes. The group contend the continuous increasing of taxes is having a major impact on the survival and sustenance of businesses. Therefore, an alternative approach is the surest way to support and grow the private sector. Speaking on Joy Business Pre-Budget Forum, President of GUTA, Dr. Joseph Obeng, stressed the need for an effective and efficient means of revenue mobilization next year.
Coming from the last quarter of 2022, due to the effect of the depreciation of the cedi, most of our capitals got depleted, over 50%, and it is true. Most capitals got depleted. And so coming from that angle, and then we also having the IMF program with the new taxes that were imposed on us, alongside the old taxes, many taxes that we have made cost of doing business extremely very high. The inflation, as it were, went to about 54%. And now that it has settled around 38 thereabout, still it's not even acceptable because inflation has taken or eaten away the purchasing power of the consuming public. Business that we do thrives on turnover. And once our turnover is curtailed because of the purchasing power of consumers being weighing down, it means that we are unable to service our debt and also do the business that we do. We are being very uncompetitive in the sub-region. The business that we do not do in isolation. We do it with the rest of the member.
Togo has a free port.
Exactly.
Competing with them. Cote d'Ivoire has its own
and all
mechanisms and all of that. Here you are dealing with the high cost of borrowing, inflation, cost of goods and all of that. And
even from within here, we are also competing with the other expatriates who are bringing their money from abroad, which is even cheaper than ourselves. So then, ultimately, it makes even the indigents who are also trying to survive very difficult for us to do business. I've talked about turnover that is impeding the uncompetitiveness in the sub-region. We are also being have to contend with high utility bills. All these do not help us. The VAT, as it is structured, does not ensure compliance, and it's not helping the growth of businesses.
Still on the 2024 budget, the presentation is expected not to announce new projects and programs despite the election year. Joy Business understands that the government will rather seek to complete existing initiatives from 2022 to 2023. George Weafe has the rest of the story.
An election year budget is often associated with new programs, initiatives which the government in power uses to gain some political capital. But if what we are picking up is anything to go by, then it's likely that we may not witness those huge initiatives often outlined in an election year budget. The 2024 budget presentation has already been described by those with knowledge of the document as a normal one. We understand that this is also expected to influence the final expenditure or how much government is planning to spend next year. The slowdown in expenditure has also been influenced by the IMF program, as government is expected to cut down on spending and concentrate on initiatives aimed at reducing the public debt stock. However, it is not clear for now what will be government's revenue policy direction in the 2024 budget, as the IMF program is pushing for mobilizing of more revenue. But will this result in hiking tax rates, or rather more rationalization and efficiency in collection to help improve revenue? We also understand that the macroeconomic targets will be influenced by the IMF program in terms of framework and direction.
You're still watching Business Live with me, Emma Davis. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. Welcome. A look at one of our top stories. The Ministry of Food and Agriculture is of strong conviction that the Akosombo Dam Spillage will not affect food availability. According to Deputy Minister of Food and Agriculture, Yao Frimpong Addo, the ministry is undertaking an assessment of the extent of the impact of the spillage on farmlands in the enclave, but he is optimistic the national food basket will not be affected. Speaking at a donation ceremony by the Agricultural Development Bank to the Farmers' Day celebration, Mr. Frimpong Addo also hinted of some financial support to affected farmers of the spillage.
Due to the effects of climate change, Ghana has been experiencing rising levels of rainfall, causing water levels to rise beyond the maximum operation capacity. This led to the Akosombo Dam Spillage, which began on 15th September 2023. The spillage led to the displacement of 31,000 people as of 19th October 2023 in 8 communities along the Volta River downstream. The extent of the damage to farmlands have not been ascertained, but Deputy Minister of Food and Agriculture, Yao Frimpong Addo, says his ministry is conducting an assessment and will soon share the findings.
We've had several meetings on the flooding, the effect on agriculture and everything. We've not come out yet with a blueprint, so that we very soon, it will not be long. I don't want to say anything about it now. I don't want to take the wind out of the sail of what is going to happen, but something good is going to happen. You know, he made mention of some $40 million that we're going to use part to support agriculture in that enclave, and all these things are being worked out, and I know something good is going to come out. We got figures, real figures of farmlands that have been affected, and looking at the total figures of what we produce in this country and what the hectarage that have been affected, there's no way that one is going to have any adverse effects on our food security. So people should be rest assured.
The Agricultural Development Bank donated 1 million cedis to the Ministry of Agric to award the 2023 National Best Farmer. Here's Deputy Managing Director for ADB, Eno Oforiata.
We are here to pledge our sponsorship of 1 million to the 1 million Ghana cedis. Thank you to the 2023 National Best Farmer, and to reiterate our commitment to enhance our investment in the agricultural sector, to improve food security, provide raw materials, and to agro-based industries, and create employment to the teeming youth of the country.
This year's National Farmers' Day celebration will be climaxed with an awards ceremony at Takwa in the Western region.
Players in the insurance sector are urging businesses and households to ensure their goods and services against disaster. Speaking to Joy Business, President of the Ghana Insurers Association, Seth Aklasi, said that planning for uncertainties is crucial for business continuity. He spoke at a ceremony to donate items worth over 200,000 cedis to flood victims in the Volta region.
The gesture, which is aimed at giving back to society, saw players in the insurance industry donate items worth over 200,000 cedis to flood victims in the Volta region. The items included 250 mattresses, 1,000 bags of sachet water, 300-kilogram burner cylinders, 50 cartons of sanitary parts, 200 mosquito nets, among others. Speaking to Joy Business after the ceremony, President of the Ghana Insurers Association, Seth Aklasi, explained the need for businesses to properly assess risk and prioritize the insurance of their goods and services.
Risk is defined as uncertainty. Our daily lives, there is something that you do not know that is going to happen tomorrow, which is the uncertainty. So that's why it's very important to say that this industry is an industry that is trained, equipped, prepared, and has money to take care of uncertainty. And it is very important for everyone to try to transfer the risk, because by nature of the fact that you are born into this world, you are born into risk. And if you do not plan for risk and you're only thinking about today, then you're going to be in trouble. As much as possible, let's try and plan for tomorrow.
Shaibu Ali is the president of the Insurance Brokers Association of Ghana.
The industry has been moved by the plight of our brothers and sisters in the Volta region, or the specific areas that have been flooded, to take the decision to do this thing today. It is simple as we giving back to society. We are noted for collecting premiums from people and paying claims when claims happen. But like Seth said, this time we are not collecting, or we have not collected premium from anyone. We have gone into our own resources to marshal funds, to purchase items, to give back to society, to show that we care about the plight of our brothers and sisters. That is all we are doing today. We are showing the human face of insurance.
The donation was a collective effort by the National Insurance Commission, Insurance Brokers Association of Ghana, Ghana Insurers Association, Chartered Institute of Insurance Ghana, and the ECOWAS Brown Card Insurance Scheme.
Now, the University of Lancaster, Ghana, has launched its Business Cap Challenge with a focus on the renewable energy sector. According to the champion of the Business Cap Challenge, Bishop Suzanne Inti, There's the need for the development of local solutions to drive the move from fossil fuels to renewable energy sources.
The University of Lancaster Ghana Business Cup Challenge, which is themed Sustainable Synergy, Powering the Future with Renewable Energy, aims to provide a platform for aspiring young people to showcase their innovative problem-solving skills. In an interview, champion of the Business Cup Challenge, Bishop Suzanne T called for the development of local solutions to reduce Ghana's reliance on imported fossil fuel.
Take Ghana, for example. The country has committed to reducing emissions by 30% by 2030 as part of the 2015 Paris Agreement. However, renewable energy currently accounts for less than 1% of Ghana's energy mix. To meet our emission reduction targets, we need to shift away from fossil fuels and embrace renewable energy sources on a larger scale. It is important to realize that even though Africa has lower emissions compared to other parts of the world, we need to develop local solutions to reduce our reliance on imported fossil fuels and energy supplies. For instance, instead of solely depending on imported solar panels and batteries, we should focus on developing local solutions to drive down costs and bolster energy independence.
Provost of the university, Dr. Emmanuel Arthur, said the challenge will help build the competitiveness of students and guide them in making good career choices.
The intention of this university is that this will be the beginning of a challenge that will culminate in some career decisions by even the students based on the interest that is garnered as a result of the competition. It gives the students a bit of direction in terms of what their interest lies, because the Business Cup Challenge covers a plethora of activities. And so the children begin to hone their skills in specific areas. So it acts as a career guidance thing for them. It also enables them to help them decide which institution they want to do. So besides just a career, it brings clarity to the university they want to attend. And that's a very important thing. Not only that, it's also to build the confidence of the students as they leave school. It is very, very important. I think one of the challenges we have in the educational system is that our students are not given that level of confidence, so that when they're confronted with situations, you realize that even though they will know what they need to do, they seem to struggle with it.
That's all for Business Life with me, Emma Davis. For more business news, do log on to myjoyonline.com. And some top stories for you. Joy Business Pre-Budget Forum. Panel members advise government not to introduce new taxes in the 2024 budget. That's all. Have a good evening.